thinking that there might be some value in really just walking through Nucraft's journey of where we started, where we are today. And I think it's really important to understand that we do see it as a journey without a finish line. We're going to get better about understanding the materials that we use as an industry, not just Nucraft. We're going to hold ourselves more accountable along the way. There is no we've completed this work, right? It's constantly evolving. So I always say Nucraft is on a journey. We are, maybe ahead of some in their journey, and we are behind some in their journey. But we're all moving in the right direction, and we all have the same intentions. But we thought it might be fun to sort of like talk through how we got to where we are today, and even our relationship with Foresight. So if you'll allow me to take you back a bit, actually, I go back to like, what are we the experts in? We are experts in building really beautifully crafted furniture. And we knew that defining beauty was not just aesthetics. We knew that it had to come with certain qualifications. And so for a time, we were doing more one-off initiatives. We had FSC, we were doing testing for indoor air quality. Our building is LEED certified, but they were sort of interconnected, not connected data points that we could respond to customer requests as they came. And then it felt like we kind of hit a level of tipping point in needing to communicate better the qualifications of our products. And transparently, and truth be told, it felt like we really couldn't keep up in the way that we wanted to. We wanted to respond to all this. We wanted to participate. We wanted to say, yes, 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 we have this. We've tested for this. But as these things are not afternoon projects, we began finding that it was like, okay, to go do this, to respond to this customer request, it's $10,000 for that testing, or it would take a team 3 months to respond to that. And even to be able to say yes, we wouldn't be able to respond that way for potentially weeks or even months, and then missing out on an opportunity to partner on a great project. And so we pulled the team together a number of years ago to begin to outline, okay, what are we hearing? This seems to have picked up, not necessarily overnight, but I feel like the trajectory really came in orders of magnitude, it felt like. And so in an attempt to navigate and be able to respond appropriately, we had to step back and listen and say, what are these things that we're hearing from what would be the design community? And oftentimes it wasn't coming through in an overall certification. It was coming through as a specific data point that they were looking for, which felt like a random constellation of all this information. We had to spend some time sort of going, okay, we've gotten 5 requests for this thing in the last, let's say, 4 weeks. And we've gotten this many for this and this many for this. What is valuable to pursue? Who are we hearing from? Is it all coming from Gensler? Is it all coming from Perkins Will? Is it all coming from, and begin to navigate what are our clients asking us for, right? Or what are the things that we felt like we couldn't really respond to?
I love that. I mean, that just like resonates so much with how we recommend our customers approach. Listen to your customers.
Yeah, stop and listen. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once we felt like we had begun to have an understanding of what people were actually asking us for, we began to navigate, how does this fit into the greater universe of sustainability certifications, the larger strategies for some of these design firms? Where do all of these things fit? And so, like I said, a team got pulled together to really begin to some sort of map that out. And we have a specialist internally now that spends a lot of time working on our sustainability initiatives. And we got to a place where we could understand where we wanted to go. We got to a place where we could understand what a 3 to 5 year strategy for Nucraft would look like. And we had to define what the first baby step was going to look like, right?
Yes.
The most important decision, I truly believe, was just deciding we were going to participate. That's the most important decision. We were not going to be a brand that was going to watch from the sidelines. We were going to be invested into it, but we had to figure out what our first baby step was going to look like. And for us, that was an LCA. So we had just launched a brand new product, which the product design consultant was Gensler.
Okay.
So there was a little bit of alignment with what we've already talked about. And so it was a newly engineered product for us. And it gave us the basis with which to engage on a life cycle assessment, which Wendy went over a little bit earlier. But we knew pretty well out of the gate that there was a lot of science, technical complexity, nuanced detail that was likely beyond our existing capabilities to be able to navigate through all of that. And so I think one of the other really great decisions outside of just starting was understanding that we needed to find the expert in this. We were going to make really great furniture. We were going to find somebody that was going to help us design it in a way that would meet the needs of the design community and the end client. And so we have engaged with Foresight and helped us determine or work through our first LCA and then had our EPD third-party verified. And that was our baby step. The reason we made that decision is because all these different questions were coming in, felt like they all fell underneath an LCA. Felt like really that's what people were looking for, where it was the LCA and information within the LCA. So that felt like a really good step for Nucraft to take. It was not without time, energy, resources, money, and people. It was a several-month process, but we learned an incredible amount about what it would take to get an LCA, how to engineer product, manufacture, and operationalize product, what to look for in engaging with our suppliers, what were we going to do in communicating the information, what resonated, what made sense, how do we equip our teams to be able to talk about these things when the requests came in.
That's so much.
It really was. It really was a lot, which is why I stress the importance of finding a partner that can help sort of Sherpa you through the process, navigate you through the journey of establishing an LCA and getting an EPD. We've since taken other steps. We've continued to pursue LCAs for other products, but we've since taken new steps to say, okay, an LCA is a single attribute. And we felt like looking at Gensler's product sustainability standard and then a few others, that it would make sense specifically to be in the furniture industry to pursue BIFMA level. And so, again, we pulled together the team the same way we did before, and we attempted to read through the E3 and understand what was there, what we could do, what we already qualified for, the additional testing that it would take, which sort of revamped our 3 to 5 year strategy of what were the tactical steps we were going to take to be able to participate in BIFA's levels program. So, it's been a journey. Like I said, we don't feel like there's a finish line. There will be times where we pursue other, maybe even single attributes that are not maybe part as BIFMA level as things evolve, which I truly believe they will. And then maybe get wrapped back up into a multi-attribute at some point. So there will be evolution to all of this. But I think the big decisions that got made was choosing to be a participant and not watch from the sidelines.